Sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name is Gordy, and this is day 3 of Word Origins Week. 5 straight episodes tracing the weird and wild backstories behind everyday words. Today, we are flexing into one of the strongest etymologies around. Where did the word muscle come from? Like and subscribe right now if you haven't, so you could keep up every single day. I do this every single day. If you're like me, you've probably flexed your bicep in the mirror and thought, wow. It looks like there's a small rodent scurrying under my skin. No? Yeah, actually, me neither. But guess who did think that? The ancient Romans. And that's where we get the word muscle. Let's talk etymology. The word muscle comes from the Latin musculus, which literally means little mouse. So let's break down muscle like rhabdomyolysis. Mus, M-U-S, means mouse, and culus is a diminutive suffix like let or ling, in English, like towelette or duckling. So your biceps, technically you're flexing your mouselings, and the Romans named them that because apparently a flexed bicep reminded them of a mouse burrowing just beneath the skin. The little twitch, the movement under the surface, it was rodent-like to them. And once that image got lodged into their minds, it stuck. And over time, musculus passed through Old French as muscle, and when it landed in English, we kept the spelling but dropped the pronunciation of the k and the because what's more English than ignoring half the letters? And oddly enough, this connection between muscles and mice isn't just some isolated quirk of Latin. The Greek word for muscle, it's mys, like mice, mis, also means mouse. Ancient physicians like Galen and Hippocrates used it interchangeably, and it seems like the metaphor had staying power across languages. Humans looked at their bodies and they saw a lump moving around and they went, holy crap, Hippocrates, get over here. There's a mouse in there, clearly. There's a mouse in there. But after hours of research, let's get one thing straight. There are no actual mice in your muscles. No burrowing creatures, no rodent stowaways, just long fibrous tissue powered by actin and myosin sliding together to contract and move your bones. But the imagery stuck, and now we've got entire industries built around little mice. Muscle cars, muscle milk, not made of mice milk, muscular dystrophy, muscular Christianity. The word has taken on a life of its own, and nobody thinks twice about the mice inside. So why does no one think of the mouse? Maybe they should, because this mouse metaphor isn't just a fun origin, it's a linguistic fossil. It tells us how humans used to make sense of their own bodies by comparing internal mechanisms to whatever they knew. And what did they know? Well, they seemed to they knew mice, small animals running around the floor. So when something under their skin twitched or pulsed, the mouse connection felt obvious. You'll find something like similar metaphors across anatomy. The word calf, as in your leg, comes from the Old Norse kalfi, possibly meaning the fat part or bulge, and not as poetic as little mouse, but still it's based on observations of what things looked like. Same with the iris of your eye, that's named after the Greek goddess of the rainbow. And the pupil, that comes from Latin pupilla, meaning little doll, because when someone stares into your eyes, they see a tiny little reflection of themselves, like a little doll. And the word muscle, as in the shellfish, that comes from the same Latin root as muscle, musculus, meaning little mouse. So the Romans thought the shape of the shell looked like a mouse's back. So both your biceps and your seafood platter are named after rodents. Language is weird. And also, have any of y'all Romans ever even seen a mouse? I just imagine them walking, oh, look, there's the Colosseum. I wanted to name it the Musluseum, but because it looks like a giant mouse, right? Does it? I don't think so. Why does everything look like a mouse to you? Well, language loves to anthropomorphize, or I guess it'd be zoomorphize, our bodies. Our ancestors didn't have microscopes or MRIs. They had metaphors and mice. So with metaphors, they metaphormorphized our bodies, our muscles. An example of, I guess you call that metaphormorphosis. So next time you hit the gym, remember, you're not building muscle, you are growing and training a mouse army. Flex accordingly. And Word Week isn't over. Let's Be sure that you like and subscribe and share, and go check out my sources, which are in the YouTube descriptions. And let's run this thing back again tomorrow. Go check out the short version at Smartest Year Ever for the 1-minute clip version across all social media. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. I will see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever. Let me know if you have any fun etymology words or backgrounds you can drop. Let me know too. I'd appreciate that. Cool. See you tomorrow.